Hello everybody, Megazord back at it again to give you another very exciting video. And for today, yes, it is time to talk about none other than Paper Mario, the Origami King. It's been speculated, it's been talked about, and oh goodness, there's been the good, the bad, and the ugly about this game though. And you've been a fan of this game, you know, there's quite a bit of stuff to talk about. But with me today, I got my bro over here, Silver. Go ahead and say hello.
What's up, guys? PewDiePie here.
What what did you say?
PewDiePie.
Bro, no. This is not one of them kind of channels, bro. No, you got to do this sucker right, man.
Let's hop into it. Come on.
Okay. So, all right. So, I guess the way how we're going to sort of kind of approach this is we're literally going to start about the beginning of the game for all y'all that that want to avoid spoilers. I don't think like maybe the events that sort of kind of happened within like the first streamer is not super spoilery. I mean, shoot, if you looked at all that preview footage and trailer stuff, I mean, the information is kind of out there though. But I will let y'all know the
Yeah.
second that we get past the first streamer, you might want to dip out if you don't want to get spoiled by some stuff. Because some stuff kind of gets a little bit heavier after you get past the red streamer though. So we'll go ahead and jump up in this though. So right out the gate with the red streamer. I don't know, man. I don't know about you though, but I remember looking back at that first trailer though, and the second I saw Peach in the origami form, man, that literally set the tone for me. And I was like, bruh. I was like, man, I hadn't had that many chills since Super Paper Mario though. And I was like, man, like, what did you think about the opening scene though?
I think it was interesting because it wasn't done before in Paper Mario. But it did remind me of Color Splash. I don't know why. Maybe because of the graphics. It was eerie, like Peach being so weird coming out and stuff. So um, it got me optimistic on what's going on with the story. That's for sure. I even thought at some point that maybe Peach was the villain of the game.
I wish she was a villain because I was like, not to get too far into this though, but Peach played a little. This is probably the most minor role she probably played in the whole entire Paper Mario series. I mean,
Yeah.
I only played Super, and I played this one though. And I know Super, obviously, she was a character in Super, so
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
being used
Yes.
to having the majority of the big cast, whether it be Luigi, Peach, Bowser, playing some decent roles
Yeah.
or whatever though. But I felt in this one. She hardly did anything though, but I know you're the one that played every single game in the series. Am I right?
I have played every single Paper Mario game in this series, and I do think that Peaches was similar to Sticker Star because in Sticker Star she was just there.
Kind of like in
With
the
Color
old.
Splash, she was there in the intro, and she was for some part of the games. Like I think with the rare area, she was still in the city, um, but further than that, no. I mean, Origami King did not focus on Peach at all, to be honest. Like
Which
only the intro and only the introduction and the ending. And the ending was like 5 minutes. So no.
I literally felt like with this Paper Mario game, they literally pulled the new Super Mario Brothers. Like you saw Peach at the beginning of like your typical new Super Mario Brothers games, and then you see her at the very tail end. It literally felt like that, at least with her role. So she wasn't that big though. But I guess moving
Yeah.
on to the more important character is Olivia. Now, just talking about Olivia in a nutshell, at least from what I felt like, I didn't know what to think about this character at first, and I was like, okay,
Mm,
she's a girl, she's a girl creature, made out of origami, and I was like, I didn't know exactly what her personality would be like though, but she was like one of those
yeah.
characters. Like as you kept playing further along in the game, it was just something about her innocence in a way where you was like, oh, she's so like down, down to earth, and she's so innocent, and she had all of these like cute little funny little remarks about everything though. I don't know, she's a character that definitely grew on you over time, at least for me. But what about you?
I couldn't agree more. She definitely grew on me because at the start, well, let me say, when they first showed Olivia, I don't like the main partners like Yui and the Crown Girl. So I don't like the idea. I just want the normal partners like Thousand Year Door and the first 64 Paper Mario. So I wasn't a fan of Olivia. But when I was playing the game, Olivia definitely grew on me, and I think she's probably one of my favorite partners in the whole Paper Mario series. Uh, because she's one of the few characters that actually cares about Mario. If you haven't noticed, especially in the ending, like she just sacrificing herself just for Mario and Peach, which is such a great character. Like it's such a great mindset, and she has evolved throughout the story.
Hmm.
Because at the start, she wasn't serious at all. She was just energetic and just wants to go on an adventure. But like since when you arrived at the purple streamer area, she was kind of getting more serious. You could notice that, and yeah, I mean, a great character development in my opinion.
Yeah, because
Olivia.
I was thinking with Olivia, it's like at first she knew that what her brother was doing wrong, which I'm just gonna call him King or the OK, I don't know, the Origami King. Um,
King
anyway, her
Ollie.
brother was obviously the one that was pulling most of the strings, was leading this charge and saying, we're gonna turn all these paper people into origami though. And at first, Olivia was like, what, I gotta stop my brother, it's not right or whatever though. But then I guess more and more as she traveled with Mario, the more and more she
Yeah.
felt like, oh gosh, what he really did is really wrong. Because after I had all these bonds with all these
Yeah.
different paper people, what you're doing is really wrong. And she kind of, she was kind of, discovering like who she was as a character herself and what she basically kind of stood for, just
Yeah.
seeing all that
Yeah.
stuff that her brother was throwing at her, though. Literally, and we can jump into this a little bit, though. But man, what kind of brother-sister relationship is that? The brother literally threw a boulder on top of her at one point in the story. I was like, bruh, I had some
I'm-
harsh relationships with my siblings, though, but I never got the urge to drop a boulder on them. I was like, dang.
I mean, yeah, the brother created her just for his plan. So it's not that he made her because of love. It was just a part of his plan of his Origami Kingdom. So if Olivia doesn't want to be a part of his kingdom, then King Ali doesn't care about her. That's simple.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes King Ali heartless.
Yeah, and it's just really interesting with his character though, and I sort of kind of wish, and I don't know how it was sort of kind of handled with the main antagonist in previous Paper Mario games except for Super though, but I sort of kind of wish that the Origami King had a bigger role in terms of popping in and out of the story a bit more, because like for example, when I think back to Super, I can think back to that main dude before they did the twist at the end of Super though. That main dude, Count. I think his name was Count Black. You saw him constantly pop in and out with. I think it was like between like the transition of the different chapters. So I sort of kind of wish he had a bigger, the Origami King had a bigger role or something like that. I felt like that was like the only kind of thing I was sort of kind of missing from like a narrative stuff, because it did take a while for. Like, you had some strong moments, but the strong moments weren't really kicking until, like, maybe past the yellow streamer. That's when stuff, like, really started getting emotional a little bit more. Especially once you hit the very final streamer going into the final boss. That's when things really started picking up.
Yeah, I do think that the story is rushed. Because, like you said, everything was important after the yellow streamer. Just right before you entered the Great Sea area.
Mm-hmm.
So during the red and blue and yellow streamer, there weren't any story besides, well, spoiler alert, when Bobby dies.
Bro, whoa. One thing at a time. Okay, we're gonna push that to the side because I gotta talk about that. But go on with your other thing though.
And yeah, that's the only thing. Like, that's the only main story part. Is that Bobby died. That's all.
Yeah.
Until you went to the Great Sea area and you climbed the tower and you went to the area where King Ali and Olivia were created by the Origami Craftsman, which I think that they should have did a different approach with the Origami Craftsman, because he just pops up.
Yeah, you're right about that. Like, he literally did pop up like midway in the thing. I was like, bro,
Yeah.
you were the one that created it. No, I was like, it's because of you? That's the whole reason why we having all this stuff go down? I was like, bruh. I'm like, get a hold of your creations or something. I'm like, man. Oh, gosh. Anyway, go on with what you have to say.
Yeah, so I just wanted more story of maybe like a backstory of the Origami Craftsman, of why he's making origami and stuff. So that's why I do think that the story of Origami King is pretty lackluster.
Hmm. Yeah, and it was sort of kind of mixed though, but don't get me wrong, that there's some parts that were hitting, and we might as well go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room though, because my boy Bobby over there, Bobby, which technically his name was technically
Yeah.
Babam, but you know everybody's gonna call him Bobby thanks to Olivia though, because she could never get his name right. Don't know why,
Well,
but okay.
am I the only one that really likes Bombus?
Babam, wait. Oh, the other
Bombus.
one, Bombus.
Yeah, yeah. Olivia called Bombus one time before she called him Bobby.
Dang. But
Yeah. I
with this boy, good night. I was like, at first, I was like, okay, he was pretty chill. He literally did
mm,
some. Whenever they first met, I think I think whoever the writer was that that came up with this dialogue it might have been the localization team or whatever though. They literally made a reference to I think Final Fantasy VII, which when I saw that little reference right there, I snickered quite a bit though. But
yeah.
Bobby as a whole though, he was just sort of kind of like one of them cool bros, and I was like, okay, like I literally did not have much of a connection with Bob Bombs before. You know, you always, you know, you step on them, you blow them up in Mario games, you chunk them, and you know, blow up bricks or whatever though. But man, this Bob had a whole different other personality, and the fact of the matter
Yeah.
that he sacrificed himself to save Olivia during that one time with the boulder, I was like, I remember as it played out when she got flattened by that boulder. I was thinking he was gonna blow it right then and there. I was like, no, you better
Yeah.
not do it. And then, but then he's like, no, wait, I need to go out to the sea. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe he got something else to blow it up. But then when he came back and then he sacrificed himself, and you saw Mario just running up to him and was like, no. Oh man, I almost probably shed a tear during that moment though. But
Yeah, it was a great moment. I already had a feeling that Bobby's gonna sacrifice himself to save Olivia. Um, which to be honest, I do really want to see more of Bobby. Like, it would be awesome to go to the scorching desert with Bobby together, which sucks, man. I really do miss Bobby. But we got Professor Toad after him, and I do prefer Professor Toad actually.
yeah,
I mean,
Professor Toad was pretty cool.
I think that Professor Toad was really funny. Um, he was chill. He was just there. But I liked him. I really like his attack. Uh, when you encountered an enemy, yeah, just like a multiple attack with 4 coins, maximum 4 coins, I think. Um, which I like. And Bobby only had like one move, and that was bomb bump. I think, yeah, bomb bump, which only attacks one enemy. In comparison with Captain Toad, that attacks 4 enemies in a row.
Right.
So Professor Toad was much more helpful than Bobby. But characteristic-wise, Bobby's better. He had more character, but I prefer like Professor Toad overall.
Yeah, and that was the thing with the assistants though, is at least for me, I relied on them a little bit. Like, you know, whenever you do the wheel and stuff, we'll get to the battle mechanics a little later on though. But you know, when you're doing the wheel or whatever though, you might miss an enemy, and then you'd be like, oh, okay, well, you can sort of kind of rely on that though. But outside of that, I wasn't relying on them too much. And I don't know, but obviously when you got more partners later on in the game, they were always, you know, hitting stronger. Like you started off with Bobby, and then who was after Bobby? Was it Professor Toad?
Professor Toad.
Yeah, and Professor Toad after
Professor
that.
Toad.
And Professor Toad was pretty cool. I did kind of like that archaeology kind of mindset that they had within that desert thing, though. And then we'll also talk about, you know, each of the zones. We'll be thinking about them a little bit later on as well, though. So we'll stick with the characters since we're already on it, though. So who was after? What was it? We had Bobby. We had
Captain Toad.
Captain Toad.
Yeah.
Oh no,
And
not
then,
Captain. Oh, I guess Captain Toad would be next. It was the archaeologist Toad and then Captain Toad. What do you think about Captain Toad?
Captain Toad was, well, Captain Toad.
Toad.
I thought he was cool. It sucked that he didn't join battles, but I mean, his mechanic in the overworld was pretty cool. I do like Captain Toad.
Yeah, because that was the thing. I was like, yeah, because he was pretty cool and whatever though, and he had this sort of kind of personality and it's sort of kind of music, which we got to talk about music later on though, a little bit, you know, more in depth later on though. But just the theme that whenever he popped up though, you could tell he was cool, and you could tell that and obviously I don't know how that man survived in ice for so long for that many years. I didn't know we had Toads that old
Yeah,
though, but
he's the ancient one, right?
yeah, and I
I
was like,
thought, I thought we were getting one of the pharaoh toads. You know, the one with the manuscripts in the pyramids. I thought we were getting one of those. I
oh,
didn't
bro,
expect Captain Toad.
man, if we would have saw one of them freakishly long toads, like literally, like you saw
I
them toads
really
within the
thought.
Egypt, that reminded me
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
that. You know that there was like that one fan art of this one toad with some really long legs, wearing some diaper, and he had some hairy legs. Remember that old image?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I do remember that. So I was hoping to see one of the toads that was that appeared on the hieroglyphs. But no, I did not expect. I did know about Captain Toad because of the trailers, but I did not expect him to be the ancient one. So that was a great surprise.
Yeah, because I was like, man, if they would have showed one of them long-legged toes, the internet would have
Yeah,
gone in rage.
yeah,
Rage, the good kind of rage, though. It would have been something to kind of see all of that, though. So I think what was
yeah.
it? Those were the main three so far, and then you get
Hmm.
introduced to Kamek as well as Bowser Jr. I like that duo
Yeah,
that they had between the two of them because they had some
I
funny remarks
really do.
between the two.
But the thing is, Kamek is the same Kamek from Sticker Star and Color Splash, so he already has a character. Um, so they didn't focus on him too much in this game. Uh,
Hmm.
but I did like some references and his like character theme. They reused his character theme from Sticker Star and Color Splash, which I really like. And I love how he's cleaning and stuff. Uh, and he's like sort of the second parent of Bowser Jr. So when you spend your coins on something really expensive, like Bowser Jr. says, like, "Whoa, Mario, are you rich?" And Kamek says, "Kamek says that's rude. You should not ask that. That's rude or something." I forgot what Kamek
Yeah, it was
said, but
something
it
on
was
those
really funny.
lines. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I really love the relationship between them. I really do.
Yeah, because it felt like Kamek was like, I guess he was sort of kind of playing that mother role because like he only had a father or whatever.
Yeah,
Like Kamek was always constantly there with him, while Bowser showed up like once every now and then or
yeah,
whatever though.
yeah, yeah.
But
And
it was nice seeing that.
yeah, and they brought up the Yoshi Island reference when Kamek said, "I took care of you when
Oh,
you were a baby."
oh,
This
that
is a
is
great
true.
reference.
Yeah, I did like that
It's a
reference. Now
great,
that you
yeah,
mentioned it, I was like, I remember it when I was playing it, but then I forgot it until you mentioned it again though. But that was a nice little reference right there too.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I
And then
do, yeah,
and there was one moment within a certain zone whenever you're sort of kind of trying to find these hot springs or whatever though. Won't go too far deep into it though, but there was one moment where
yeah,
Kamek was like, hey, go this way, and then Bowser Jr. said, let's go this
yeah.
way, and then Olivia said, let's go this
Olivia,
way, and
yeah,
at the very first time I did it, I was about to go with Olivia because I was like, maybe Olivia knows what she, and then I heard the shake. And I won't go too far into what the environment
yeah.
is. We'll talk about it here in a bit though. But then I was like, you know what? I'm following Kamek every time, and this man was right every single
Yeah, you
time.
was right every time. Yeah, I went for Olivia every time because I like Olivia. Um, but yeah,
You didn't catch the theme you literally stuck with
I
her
did,
every
I did,
time.
I did. I got the little pop-ups when you chose Olivia. They both come and comic said like, whatever, you know. I know
Oh
I'm right.
gosh.
Yeah, I really do love comic. I really do. But yeah, I thought that was pretty smart of them to use comic as the right option.
Hmm.
Uh, but I always went for Olivia. If Olivia did not work, I went for Bowser Jr. and then Kamek because I knew that Kamek was the right one. But I want to see the dialogue of the other two if you choose them.
Which I guess technically you probably have to go through, like you probably have to save at the beginning and then go through it all, cut your
Yeah.
game all started back up if you want to see all the dialogue for each one of
No,
those
no,
rooms.
because
Or what?
no, because if you no, because if you like after the first part where you have to choose, so the second part where you have to choose, if you choose Olivia or Bowser Jr., you die, get an instant death because the chain jump jumps out of the bushes and eats you up. So you just get game over. that you can start from your last save.
Oh, I didn't know that
Yeah.
was a thing. Holy shoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you just die. You just die.
Okay. All right. We'll probably talk about it more once we actually talk about the actual zones, though. But I need to hear about that because I never experienced that. And I guess the last character would be Bowser. And I don't want to go too far deep, beyond the one part where we finally get Bowser unfolded. We'll save all of that for that epic, final boss moment or whatever. Though. But everything almost leading up to it, though, gosh, it was something to see Bowser already folded up at the very beginning of the game, and I was like, who the heck had enough power and strength to actually get Bowser folded up into this like mini chibi little form? He wasn't even like actual origami. He was like literally like those signs they put out. Yeah, it's like a painting. Or for me, it sort of kind of reminded me of one of those signs that you put out, like a wet floor sign. It literally looked like that. I was like, what the heck? I was like, I never understood that. So I was like, literally, is Bowser going to be in this form the whole entire game? He pretty much was for the mass majority of it, though. But I did like the way how he fought or whatever, though, because he was like the most reliable, partner, because he literally shot in a straight line and he literally killed everything with one shot. So at least at least
Kamek was the same one. Kamek had the same move, just one shot like the 4 enemies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and especially if you had one of those items equipped which kind of boosted the power of your allies for a brief moment or whatever, though. Yeah, that was a shooting kill for either Kamek or Bowser, though. But Bowser was pretty cool as a whole nutshell. I want to say more, but then that ties into the final moment, so I got to hold them thoughts back, though. But what do you got to say about Bowser before that?
I like Bowser. I mean, it's nothing new. I already love him since the first Paper Mario games. He really has a great character, and I like how he's more friendly towards Mario. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like each other, but yeah, I mean, I like the relationship between them. And Bowser's really cool, for sure, and definitely in the final moments, which I can't talk about yet. So, who's your favorite character? Who's your favorite partner? Everyone. Yeah, everyone we mentioned.
Minus Olivia, because Olivia has her own little special seat or whatever. Though I get. Oh, what?
Well, let's excluding Olivia.
Yeah, excluding Olivia, I probably have to say, gosh, it's pretty much between like Bobby and Bowser Jr., but it probably goes to Bobby. Because I was like, dang, I was like, I wasn't ready for him to go quite yet, though. Because I was like, now I'm going to feel some kind of way whenever I play a Mario game and I'm stepping on a bomb now. I'm going to be like, oh no! I mean, that's just what's going to be running through my head. But what about you?
I think it's Professor Toad. I think Professor Toad is my favorite one. Yep, yeah. But I don't know, like, they all have a simple design. It's not like the first 2 Paper Mario games, but they really nail the characteristics and the personalities. I mean, the personalities. They really nailed it in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think that's pretty much it in terms of all the characters, though. And then I was thinking, all right, what are we going to talk about next? Well, we're probably going to pretty much talk about the zones next. But it's hard to talk about the zones if you don't actually talk about the music. So we'll talk about the zone with the music when we approach each one, though. Okay. So the first one is the red streamer theme, which I can sort of kind of dig that regular old battle theme or whatever, though. I thought it was pretty cool, though. But at least for me personally, I always sort of kind of like the boss theme battles more. Like, I think for the most part, the elementals, they almost all sounded the same. They might have had slight tweaks, though. But I like that elemental battle, though. But what about you in terms of the music for the first streamer?
The first streamer, I liked the whole soundtrack. But the red streamer was pretty nice. Especially the battle theme of the Red Streamer and Picnic Road. I really dig those two. And the environment, it's your typical first level environment, especially the woods.
Oh, the woods, them singing woods. I was not ready for that either, bruh.
Yeah. So I like the singing woods, but I prefer Picnic Road. Like those, like it's your typical mountain Greenland thing. It really reminds me of Norway, like Norway or the United Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the rest of it was pretty nice. It was a great first level.
Yeah, it pretty much was.
Yeah, especially the second part of Picnic Road. I really love that part.
Oh, and I also forgot. I guess this sort of kind of counts as the first streamer too, though. But also the Toad Town. Now, I did like how big Toad Town was, but I think this is one of the flaws I personally didn't like about the game was Mario's running speed. You could tell when you try to run from one side of Toad Town to the other, it took a century to run across. Even so much so that the developers of the game say, "Hey, you know what? Let's put a warp pipe on the right side that literally takes you all the way to the left side because that's a whole lot of walking." And I was like, "Dang."
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate it. I've never had the problem with Mario being slow. So yeah, I just walk to the place I have to be.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not
I do like
terrible,
Toad Town.
but
I do like Toad. Yeah, I really do like Toad Town. I prefer this Toad Town over the 64 Toad Town.
oh, because what was 64 Toad Town like?
Smaller.
Because from what I heard, I think a lot of people said this is probably the biggest I think Toad Town has ever been.
I think it's the biggest city it's ever been.
All right, well that's
in
pretty
Paper Mario, maybe. Yeah, I think it's the biggest. Super Paper Mario City was, I mean, it was meh. Thousand Year Door was really good. It was not big, but not small either. And you had the underground sewers, and those were really big. And I think it was similar to Color Splash, but bigger. It's similar but bigger.
Okay.
Especially the buildings, like where you can train and where you can buy the items. It's similar to Color Splash, 6-star.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much. And then I guess the final thing for the zone or the red streamer was that color pencil boss. Now I will say this: when I saw that was going to be the first boss, I was like, "You gotta be kidding
and
me!"
the
You
tower.
telling me?
I mean, the tower was pretty cool. With the elevator.
Yeah, the tower was cool and everything though, but I was just thinking with the boss, I was like, you telling me that all the bosses in this game, the major bosses within this game, were gonna be arts and crafts sort of kind of tools. I was like, at first I wasn't buying it. It got better later on in the game, I guess because you got used to it though. But I was like, I sort of kind of missed the originality. Like if you go back and look at Super Paper Mario, it felt like you had some like natural enemies, and it probably was the same thing with maybe your Thousand Year Door and the original 64 Paper Mario though. I don't know. That was just one thing I just found a little bit annoying though, but you kind of got used to it though. But the elementals though, I found that mess pretty cool. Like you had some, like I guess with this one, it was the turtle one or whatever though, and it wasn't my favorite design out of all the elementals though, but it definitely kind of set a tone whenever you saw that first one and doing all that animation where Olivia transforms into that turtle or whatever when you get to use them in the future though. So that was pretty nice though.
Agreed. I agree. Yeah, for sure. I mean the bosses. I don't like the bosses, man. I really don't. I love their personalities, but I just don't like their designs. I just want those, like, I may be a Thousand Year Door stan, but I just want those kind of bosses back. The hook-tailed dragon, the one.
You talking about that red dragon?
Arena.
The red dragon that flies
I just
around?
want those kind of bosses. I mean, we could get like a pencil boss, but like make it different. Like make it a person with like the colored pencils or something. I don't know.
Like it's sort of kind of hard, I guess, to
But
fight
you
a
can
boss that
understand
doesn't have
it.
a face. I guess that's
Well,
what we're sort of kind of getting to.
I do get it why they are bosses. During the ending, which I can't talk about, but I do understand why they implemented those type of bosses instead of original bosses. Because it does make sense with the story. Because they were the parts that made King Ollie and Olivia.
So I guess that pretty much does it in terms of the first zone stuff. Do you have anything else to talk about, or we move on to the second one?
Yeah, this remember the shy guy at the second part of Picnic Road where you have to get the green orb?
Oh yeah.
I just spent 10,000 coins on it.
Bro, what the freak? Okay, so on that, I know people got robbed, and I think I saw a little snippet of it. I think it was on a Nintendo, the Treehouse thing, and I think they might have showed a segment where they were bribing him or something like that. So I knew, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna buy the 10,000 ones. I'm gonna go as low as I went, and I think I paid as low as 1,000. I didn't go any lower than that. I didn't know if you could get it cheaper than that though, but yeah, I paid it for 1,000.
I spent the first like right away. I don't know. I think it was 10,000 or it was
It's
7,000.
ten
I don't
thousand
remember.
right
But
off. Yeah, it's 10,000
10,000.
right off the
I
bat.
just spent 10,000. I was stupid, and then I talked to him again, and I saw the name. I saw shady guy, and I thought, no, I got scammed. I
That
got fucking scammed. I got scammed, man.
that dude, that shy guy is straight up scamming you. I was like,
I do
bro,
love him. I do really like him. I wasn't mad. I do find him pretty fun
dang.
because I was battling every enemy, so I got the coins quickly.
Hmm. Well, I think that's
But
pretty
yeah,
much it in terms of the
yeah,
first
that's the
one.
rest of me. Yeah, yeah. What do you think of the collectibles of
Ooh,
the Red Streamer?
I guess if we talk about collectibles, this is gonna pretty much wrap it all into one, like everything in the whole entire thing. Though it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
nice,
yeah.
sort of, kind of going through and collecting them though. And then less if I actually saw it. If I see it in my sight, I tried to go for it. But obviously, there was probably some that were hidden or whatever, and probably some real well areas. I think I found most of them within World One, but as you got a little further into the story, you had to
Mm,
really go off the beaten path or whatever, or use like your item finder or something to help give you clues to help you
yeah.
showcase, where where treasure chests might be at though. I mean, it was sort of kind of cool, gives you an extra little thing to do because I mean, literally, I think the game only took me about 30 hours to beat. I'm not sure how long did it take you to beat, or do you remember?
40 hours. 40
Okay, so
hours
you
is
probably
rough.
did a
And
little bit more,
yeah, I did. I
searching and
really
stuff.
explored. I explored every area. I'm planning to 100% the game.
Hmm.
But with the trophies or the collectibles, it's a huge missed opportunities to bring back those partner trophies. Like for example, just like a Vivian trophy or a Captain Barbary trophy or a Boette trophy. I mean Bo. Like just imagine getting a throwback. Like that would be great, and it's worth getting them now.
Hmm.
No, it was just Crate trophy, Bush trophy, the Goomba trophy, paper mache Goomba trophy. What? I don't want to get them.
Dang.
It would be nice to have a Yui trophy, um, or Mrs. Mouse trophy, or a Goombet trophy. No, that would be much better.
Hmm.
And I think that more people will find those trophies to get those partner references, which really is meant towards the old fans of Pokemon.
Yeah, because that was something I was looking at as well. Because I was like, with Paper Mario, it's been over 12, 14 years. It's been over a decade since Thousand Year Door. So I looked at that. I was like, dang. I was like,
Yeah,
you're a dedicated
yeah,
fan to still be with the series. If you played the original ones way back when they actually originally released though. But yeah, that
yeah,
is something to say though.
yeah. But yeah, overall, I don't like the collectibles because they're just there. You don't achieve anything when you get them. Well, maybe you get the secret ending, which is 5 seconds long.
Oh, I hope
That's
not.
it.
I hope not. No, you don't collect a whole bunch of collectibles just to only
They're not
say, oh,
hard.
we only get 5 seconds of a secret. No.
They're not hard at all to find. Maybe in the Great Sea they were pretty hard to find, but for the rest of the streamers, they were pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean they're
I,
somewhat
I
easy.
did
It's
like
just
I did like
yeah.
the first. There were a few trophies that were pretty cool, especially the last one.
Oh yeah, the
Which I
last
won't get
one.
into it.
Yeah, the last one was cool.
Really, but that has a meaning behind it. Like 80% of the collectibles don't have any meaning. So yeah,
Hmm. Well, I think that about does it in terms of the first, the first zone or whatever though. But then the second zone,
mm.
what the heck was the second zone? I'm trying to remember. Wait, so we
That's
went from the red
Autumn
streamer to
Mountain.
the blue streamer. Oh, autumn. Okay, there we go. Autumn Mountain.
Yeah,
Now, okay, now this is what I gotta talk about. Autumn Mountain, bruh. When you get the water elemental, and you get to use his powers or whatever though. Man, did you see that water though? Holy
gorgeous.
shoot! I
Yeah,
was like, bruh, I've seen a lot of water in a lot of games though, but when I saw that in the HD glory, I was like, Dang. I was like, that looks
Yeah,
real good. And I was like, this is a paper world and that water's looking like that. Like, there was literally
I mean,
one tweet that Nintendo said, is like, look at that water or something. I was like, bro.
no, all the elementals were real elements. Like the turtle, which is earth element, was a real earth. Um, the water elemental was real water. The fire elemental was real fire, and the ice elemental was real ice. So I did like that idea. Which the blue streamer, like the environment is. I think blue streamer is my favorite part of the game, and that's coming from an inner reap. I really, really love the environment. It's like a red mountain. I love the music. The music is the best in the game, especially the battle theme. And the second part of the Blue Streamer is Shogun Studios, based off Japan. Dude, I can't say anything bad about the Blue Streamer. I love literally everything about it, from the music to the environment to the characters. I love. I can't say anything more. It's such a great streamer. It's such a great zone, and it's probably my favorite area of all Pokemon.
Yeah, because it is really cool with that streamer zone. Because I was noticing myself, I was like, if you definitely like a fan or person that likes anime and stuff, so you know a lot about Japanese
Well, not
culture and
anime,
stuff,
but if you like, yeah,
or just
you like
in
Japan,
general,
now Asian
or
culture,
Asian, yeah, because there was a
yeah,
lot of different tidbits kind of thrown towards it, and I was like, it was something. It was definitely something to go in there though. But let me ask you this: you did buy that annual pass, like you didn't buy the visitor thing, did you?
nope. I just bought the premium pass.
Yeah, because that would have been messed up if you had to keep paying. And thank goodness you bought the annual one, and I did too, because you know there were certain collectibles I think that were locked behind it where you needed to actually have the annual pass. So there was incentive to do that though. But the one part I found the best in within that studios was definitely the ride up to the second boss, the second final boss of the area, where you got to see the different parts of the play, and you literally got to go up on stage and beat the paper mache characters, or whoever else was up on the thing though. I think that was pretty funny though. But Birdo, oh my god.
Yeah,
I was like, no.
she was there saying sticker star. She's just a meme. We still question ourselves: is she male or female?
Nintendo went all in on female. Like,
I love our Olivia. I love how Olivia blushes when Birdo kisses Mario on stage. I really love that. Just like a little piece, which I really did. But I do think that my favorite area of Shogun Studios is definitely the Ninja School. The Ninja School was awesome.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, that ninja school kind of got on my nerves a little bit, because I'll be walking and then you see them little spike rails go up, and I was like, I literally probably ran into every single one. I was like, gosh darn, I can't catch a break. But thankfully there was one little segment in the middle of it where I think you actually managed to unlock you managed to find Luigi, which we didn't mention this before though, but Luigi's whole goal within this whole entire game was to find the key to Princess Peach's castle. And this dude literally found every good key that we needed in the moment when we needed it, except for the final key at the final end. But we'll talk about that when we get there though. But goodness, I was like, I luckily happened to run across that though, because I probably could feel some people going through the whole entire house and they'd be like, wait, where's Luigi? And they probably have to go through it again, but that wasn't me. But did you manage to find him on your first try through?
Luigi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I explored, like when I went into the Ninja School, I explored everything. I fought every enemy, which I don't mind. I love the music of the Ninja School. It's so good. I really love how it was based off a Japanese cultural house slash dojo. I love the ninjas. I love the power-ups you get there. I mean, the Ninja School was awesome. I mean, just Blue Streamer was awesome. I love the Blue Streamer. I really want to replay the game to play through the Blue Streamer again. And there was one part where you have to find Bobby in Auto Mountain, where the leaves turn orange. And the music is a reference to the Mario Kart Wii track. I forgot how the track was named, but it was
the maple one.
Yeah, the maple one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was based off the Maples track theme, which I like that reference.
Dang.
I like how you have to find Bobby, and there was one part at Outer Mountain where he went down, like all the way down. You were nearly there, nearly at the top again. He went just down again. So I went down, like at the first part of the area, and I couldn't find him there. And I was like, I swear to God, if he's at the top, I'll just
when he was rolling down the hill, when he was rolling down the hill. Oh man, I almost did the same thing, but I stopped midway.
No, and he was just sitting there sleeping, and I was so pissed. I was so pissed. I was like, "What? How does that make sense? You went down. How are you?"
like that man went rolling. Like you see me rolling.
I'm speechless. But I can't get that on Bob Lee. That was awesome. I love the Shy Guy. The sombrero guy too. There was one part in Outer Mountain where you had to open the can, and I love those three enemies where Bobby was sitting alongside them, which is a nice side story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, that was a really good zone, and I think that's where that contrast of going from the first streamer to the second one, that's when it hit me, and I was like, things are about to get good though. Now, I do want to talk about that final boss battle against the rubber band person, because the color pencil one was sort of kind of easy though, but how was it when you actually fought him?
I disagree. I had a hard time on the color pencil. I thought it was the hardest one in the game. Maybe because it was the first boss. Yeah, I thought I was stuck at him.
Okay.
45 minutes.
You know what? I have to take my words back, because literally that color pencil boss, I think, beat me 3 times in a row, and it got on my nerve too, because I think it was whenever it did the swirling vortex thing, and I was trying to figure out. I was like, wait a minute, you can't close the lid, you can't shut it from the back by hitting it with your hammer. And I was trying to figure out what was I supposed to do. And then eventually what I think I did, I just literally made sure I picked up every heart on the wheel to make sure my health was almost maxed out, where I know I could take the hit and still survive. And I just slowly kept doing damage over it. But I can't remember if there was actually a way to be able to stop him doing that. It might have been the Earth Elemental, now that I'm thinking about it. Like, I don't even think I even tried that, to be honest.
I don't remember.
Or was that even an option on that thing? I can't remember.
I don't think so. I don't think the Earth Elemental was an option. But yeah, I was stuck at him for 45 minutes. I did not die. But I didn't, like, the only footage I've seen was the first trailer. Or was it the second? I think it was the second trailer. So that's the only thing I've seen. I haven't seen the treehouse and any the others. So I just went into it blind. So I was just experimenting and stuff.
Did you pick up them envelopes?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, yeah, because if you didn't pick up them envelopes, I mean, you could sort of kind of get away with it early on, but as you got further in the game, nah, man, like, that was the first thing I had to do, because I didn't want to be too experimental, otherwise they'll try to wipe the floor with you early on.
Yeah. No, I was collecting those hearts to get my HP back.
Mm-hmm. And then what about the rubber? Oh, go ahead.
Guard Plus was a huge help for the first boss. So it made it much easier.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I think that's all I had was, throughout the whole entire game, I think I only had Guard Plus. I think there was one other thing you could upgrade beyond that, but the Toad didn't sell it in the shop. So I think it was something you had to find out in the wild, and I never found that. So I was like, oof.
No, an item? You mean like those upgradable items?
Yeah. Like you had the item Guard Plus and the silver. It was like bronze, silver, and I'm pretty sure there was a gold one, but he never sold the gold item.
No, he never sold the gold item. No, they didn't. They did not sell. You mean the Toad in Toad Town?
Yeah, the Toad in Toad Town was selling you those kind of like the bad strings or whatever though. But he only went 2/3 of the way.
You had to progress through the story because you couldn't get gold Guard Plus in Blue Streamer, obviously.
No,
unless
not
it
in the
would be
blue
too
stream. No,
OP.
I mean like even as far as the very last streamer. No, even Bowser or even in that or the final boss area, I still couldn't buy it from him. And I was like he
Oh,
said he was out of stuff, and I was like, okay,
well, then you have to buy it from someone else. You have to
yeah,
buy Card Plus from someone else.
yeah,
I
it was
had
probably
I had
something.
dark I had Card Plus uh, in the yellow streamer. I think it was no or the Great Sea. I think it was either the Great Sea or the yellow streamer. That's where I obtained Card Plus. But speaking of the yellow streamer, what do you think of the yellow streamer?
Ooh wee. I will honestly almost do it in the reverse. Okay. Well, let's talk about the environment first. The environment first was obviously a desert, but this desert wasn't like a traditional, like in the daytime, whatever. Though it was literally at night because it was almost like as if like a lunar solar, solar,
It was
solar
pretty
eclipse,
much
not
the
lunar, solar
Sahara. It
eclipse
was just
essentially
yeah,
over the whole
yeah.
entire land.
It was the Sahara Desert at night because it's obviously based on the Sahara Desert. Because the Sahara Desert at night looks sometimes purple. So I like the thing behind it. But yeah, continue.
Yeah. So that honestly, that area, I thought it was pretty cool with the way how it had like purple shifting sand instead of the traditional yellow that you normally see within the desert during the middle of the day. And thank goodness for that boot ride thing that you were able to roll around in, because otherwise that area literally felt like extremely big, and it would have took a very long time in order to traverse with your slow little running speed though. So at least they gave you that though. And we already talked about the Professor Toad. The Professor Toad provided some pretty cool stuff though. But that one area where I don't know if you'll call it like a city or a town or whatever though. But the thing that you would basically see like a city sort of kind of like thing in like in Aladdin or whatever though. That city was
Yeah,
popping. I was like, bruh.
yeah, the city of the Arabian Nights. I think it's a town.
I guess it's a
It's a
town.
town. It's that with the Arabian Palace, right? Yeah, it
Yeah.
has some Aladdin vibes. It really has some Aladdin vibes. I do think like I really like uh, the part where you have to go to the different towers and
Oh
where you have to
yeah.
find those gems. I really like that because you really had to explore. Well, you got some hints, but you had to explore the area, which I really love. I got some Breath of the Wild vibes.
Yeah, because there were some
Uh,
items that were like real close to the statues, and then other ones where it's like go
yeah,
halfway across the desert and find it over here next to this fire furnace thing that used to, beat her or whatever though.
yeah, and the hints weren't hard at all. One was like you have to dig under my foot, so dig under the tower foot, you get the gem. So they were really easy to get. And then you unlock the pyramid, and really the pyramid was awesome. I love the dancing toads. I really do love it. And going back to the Sniffet City at night, I was when I arrived at the genie guy, like the Sniffet guy, where you have to guess his face. I was
Hmm.
stuck at him for such a long time because I wanted I paid. How much coin did you have to pay? 1,500?
Wait,
I think
1500
you had to pay to guess his face because you had to get Luigi
Oh,
out
okay,
of the
okay.
lamp.
Now that's something I wanted to talk to you about, because I remember there was one, the first time I attempted it. I think it was 1,000 coins when you paid it the first time, and
Yeah,
I could not guess it no matter what. And then after that, he was like, "You can pay 1,500 coins to try again," and I said no.
yeah,
And he was like, "Are you sure? Because you're
yeah.
gonna be able to do that?" I said, "Heck no! I'm not giving you not one more cent." And he sucked me
Same,
up in that
same.
lamp. I was like, "Boy, you gotta be kidding me!" And it said game over. I was like, "Oh, so you want to be dirty
Uh,
like that?" So then I played it
yeah,
again. Cost 1,000 the first time. The second time, I messed up on the first and the second one, but I think the third selection I made, he said, "Oh, that was right." And man, I was like, if this game just ran, because I literally tried different combinations. I was trying to figure this mess out. But did you get it the second time?
you can't get it on the first time. You
Okay.
can't. And I was after I guessed all four tries. on the first round, I restarted the game because I didn't want to spend any more money. So I just restarted it for 5-6 times, and I never got it right. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna just continue. So I paid 300 coins, and my last try on the second round was the right choice, which is it's obviously the same as Shady Guy. He's scamming you.
I know. I was like, dang that. I was like, bruh, you having the same exact face every time. Like, this dude was straight lying to you. I was like, okay, I see how you are. But at the end of the day, we managed to get Luigi up out of there, and I was like, oof. I was like, thank goodness.
So, going to the pyramids, what did you think of the pyramid area?
The pyramid area, honestly, was definitely my highlight within that area because you had these.
Oh, really?
God. I mean, out of all the stuff that was shown within the desert area, the pyramid part was definitely my favorite part because one, the music, and two, the characters that were up in there, and then the boss battle itself, though. And oh shoot, taking a step back for a moment because I got to talk about this. That fire elemental boss. What the freak was that, bruh? I was so fed up on that boss because literally you go around and the goal was essentially when you're playing through this battle, you have to basically knock out as many feathers as possible before doing like a final thousandfold arms attack on him. Because if you don't manage to finish him off with your timing, which I think that was one of the letters that actually gave you the hint or whatever, if you didn't time your attacks out right, he got all of his feathers back and regained his whole entire health. He did that on me like twice in the same battle. I was like, oh, so you're going to be like that kind of stingy little boss. I see how you play. Oh gosh, it took a while to grind down as many feathers as you were supposed to before you finished it off with the thousandfold arms attack. I was like, that was probably the most annoying boss battle, at least from that and the color pencil boss, because the color pencil boss, I guess, was the first one, and like what you said, it was kind of tough, but that was probably the second most troublesome one right there. Like, what do you think about that boss?
I think the Fire Elemental boss is one of my favorite bosses in the game.
Bruh, no, you lying. You don't gotta lie on my channel like that, man. Like, you know that mess was annoying.
I did have a hard time, but I like the mechanic of the Fire Elemental. It was challenging, which I do really like in Pokemon. So, I like his design. But going back to the pyramids, I thought it was pretty cool. You know those thumb stones?
Mm-hmm.
Or what was it called? Those boxes where the toads were in. Well, there were some toads and some enemies. Will you have to collect the toads?
You trying to remember the name of the box? I'm trying to.
The coffins.
Oh, the sarcophagus.
The coffins.
Yeah. Those coffins or whatever.
Yeah, which I just opened them all up because I thought, like, I was collecting those collectibles, so I thought maybe there were some collectibles, which there were, and there was a heart. So,
you know what? Because I remember running around and I was trying to find all them toads, and then I could not find the last few. And then I was like, wait a minute. And I had to push. Because at first you couldn't push those things open. But then once you found so many toads, you had enough strength with their help to push them open. And that's where the remaining ones, though. But we forgot to talk about the big thing was these toads were literally faceless. And I was like, bruh. I was like, what the heck? I was like, you telling me you can't alter toes, but yet you take their whole face off like that. And I was like, okay, this is some freaky mess, though. Like, what do you think about that?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I was just meh. It's just meh.
I mean, at first it kind of gave me a chill, but then I was like, okay, whatever. Now they're toads.
Yeah. I did like how Professor Toad was scared of them. I did like that. But like speaking of the faceless toads. It was done by the Hole Puncher, which is the boss of the Yellow Streamer. And it's probably my favorite boss in the game. I love the music, and I love the mechanic.
Okay.
How about you?
Okay, hold on. Before I get into the boss battle music, though, that whole entire part where it's like, you know what, you have to convince the hole puncher boss to come out of this room. So you're trying to go around and find a certain CD disc or whatever though. And then when you finally had the right ones and you had all of you had Paper Mario over there dancing with all the toads right there. I don't know, it's something
Yeah.
with Nintendo, and anytime they get a dance scene, like, you know, this with the Paper Mario game, you look back at like Luigi's Mansion 3 when they had that breakdancing moment right there. I don't know, Nintendo
Yeah.
and their dancing scenes like that. I don't know. It's always fun to be able to see those little moments play out though. So I honestly really like that though. And then transitioning into the Yellow Stream boss battle, oh freaking shoot. That's probably like my second favorite theme in the whole entire game. Like y'all gotta listen to this right
For
here though.
sure.
But
For
oh
sure.
goodness, I was like, man, when I heard all of that, I was like, dang, I was bopping my head to the whole battle. Like I wasn't
Yes.
caring. Like I
Same.
might have got hurt, but I was still bobbing my head over here because I was like, I'm
Same,
throwing
same.
down on this boss. I was
And
like,
Mario was bombing his head too.
Uh,
Mario was the same thing. He was just bumping his head every time. The music was great.
Like-
I love the whole puncher. I love how the whole puncher said like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah."
And I was like,
like, they may be simple, but their personalities are great.
They really were, and I think it was from this point onward. This is where the music, as well as the bosses, I think they really started clicking a lot more, moving from this point forward. Because I think the Yellow Streamer onward, I think that's where the game really started to shine a whole lot more than
I
what the previous first two.
disagree.
Except for well, the town was cool within the second one though. But in terms of like the boss battles and music, at least in my personal opinion, that's where I felt like they
Yeah.
shined the most. I mean, don't get me wrong, the second Streamer world was pretty cool though too. But I was just thinking
Yeah.
about the overall music theme and the intensity
Yeah,
of what they were
yeah.
trying to show. I thought was pretty good
yeah.
moving this point forward.
I think, in my opinion, I think the Yellow Streamer and the Blue Streamer is where the music shines. I like. Speaking of streamers, the Purple Streamer had great music too. The Great Sea Area, which reused. Well, we got introduced to Captain Toad, which his theme is the theme of the island in Paper Mario Color Splash. It's the same theme. So, when you enter the Great Sea Area, can we just appreciate the overworld music?
Ooh, because I think that was like one of the first things I did. Well, once you manage to do a certain task that allows you to explore the whole sea, though, it was I just really liked the music and stuff and how open it was probably the closest thing to an open world scenario that you possibly could get within Paper Mario, at least up to this point within the whole entire series. And I literally tried to go all the way off to the edge, and I was like, okay, what are they gonna do to keep me from going any further? And then the big old blooper with a big old no sign pops up, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, the blooper from the Yellow Streamer. I do like that boss fight. I really do. It's different. It's just an overworld boss fight. It's the same as the spike, the one with the spikes in the Yellow Stream. It's the same thing. It's just an overworld boss fight. But I really do love those type of boss fights, which are mini bosses. But I did explore mostly of the Great Sea.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some items, which in particular is the one with the square, where you have an arena where you can fight those paper mache origami Goombas and stuff. Have you tried that out?
Yeah. I tried to do that. Yeah, because at first I didn't know you were supposed to I didn't know because some of the toads will give you a location where you can go out in the sea and actually dive underwater and then try to find a treasure chest, which essentially gave you a collectible. So I didn't know if you were supposed to be able to get one of those from there or if there was something story related. So of course I did some battles though, and I think I survived 4 or 5 different battles before my health. There was one I think one person that does a certain attack where it'll just ricochet off the wall so fast. It's like you needed to know where you needed to go before he actually managed to actually go on his actual trajectory or whatever though. But there was eventually a point where I got a game over. I was like, dang it, I wanted to see how far I went though. But honestly, yeah, nice. I felt like this was a good. I think it was a good, nice balance they struck with actually kind of motivating you to kind of go out and try to explore all these different islands. I think there's 11 in total, and then by the time I managed to get to the final boss area, after you found the certain gems, which was, you know, came after what you would do with the mid boss with the elemental, I think I found every single island, so I managed to touch everything. So I was like, okay, that was pretty cool though.
Same. I think that the purple streamer is, I think it's rushed because it wasn't the longest in the game, and the same thing can be said about the green streamer. We're going there in a bit, but like the purple streamer in comparison with the yellow streamer and blue streamer, the purple streamer was pretty short.
I don't know, man, because for me, I felt like that purple streamer was pretty long, and I guess it sort of kind of goes back to, remember when you still had Bobby on your team, you technically got to explore this area a little bit before going back to previously what would have been like the desert area, because we didn't talk about the Princess Peach and how, you know, Bobby had to actually go up there and figure out that, oh, you know what, I need to get that item or whatever though, which it was kind of cool to see that, what was it was like a squid or a blooper or something like that, that big old paper mache
from Mario Sunshine.
Yeah, oh man, I always like those overworld bosses that they did, where it's like it basically felt like a live action instead of, you know, doing like a traditional turn-based. I think anytime they use that along with our traditional battle that we were getting within the game, I felt like that was a nice little good little mix. So I kind of like those bosses when they did that stuff though. So I think that sort of kind of added to that one zone though. But to me, honestly, kind of going around the ocean and stuff, it took a while to sort of kind of navigate all of that, especially at their slow speed. And anybody else that's listening to this, go back to Toe Town the second you go in there with the boat, because they give you the upgrade where it speeds you up, and thank goodness they have that, because man, that's a lot of water you had to traverse if you had that slow speed on. And I was like, thank goodness I did that though.
I did not do that.
You did not do that? What the freak?
No, I did not know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I went there with the slow boat.
Bro, you can't tell me that the area was short and you were moving around in that molasses moving.
It wasn't short. I think I explored a lot of the Great Sea, and I think it was short in comparison with the blue and yellow stream and even the red stream. You just had to get those orbs, but they were all in one area. Yeah. So you have to go to the 3 temples. Like the thing you have to do is go to those 4 islands to summon the last island, which unlocks the orbs. So you have to go to those temples and get the ice elemental. That's it. You go to the tower. The tower is like 10 minutes long, and then you fight the boss. And right after the boss, you go to the next streamer, which is it's like everything is. I think it's rushed, in my opinion. I really love the Great Sea, but it sucks that it's rushed because 11 islands is not much. They were all really small.
Yeah, they were small. I will admit that.
They were really small. Like I would love to have them big. For example, the Color Splash Island, which is a really big island, which I really like. So if they did bring that back to the Great Sea, it would make Great Sea a much bigger area. So, I mean, it's nice to get collectibles, but if you want to get other collectibles, it's a long area because you have to rescue all those to go to one place in the Great Sea, and then go to the other toad to get all the treasure. So, I mean, I think that's where the game gets a bit weaker. Because then the tape boss, I think I don't like the tape boss. It was I beat it in like 5 minutes.
Oh, you beat him that quick? For me, it was sort of kind of annoying whenever he laid out that tape in certain ways where it started to lock up your wheel, and you could only twist it in certain ways. You couldn't really like do the inverse where you move it, you know, back and forth. but it encouraged you more so to rotate or whatever. Though that kind of got on my nerves, so it kind of took a little bit of time to. I had to guess. Maybe it took me 15 to 20ish, maybe minutes to kind of beat it though. Maybe probably 15, but I don't know. That boss was a little bit annoying. He wasn't my favorite one though, but the music was pretty cool. I liked that. But outside of that, he wasn't like my favorite boss in the game. Man, that tape is annoying.
The tape, I just beat it so fast. And I wasn't playing serious. I was just experimenting. And I beat him. I was, no way, there has to be another phase. There has to. I just beat him. Huh? Really?
Yeah, because I felt like if
jump right into the green streamer.
Yeah. Because if you knew the pattern with him, it was going to be an easy boss, though. But yeah,
it was a really easy boss. Yeah, I had a much harder time with the previous bosses than the tape boss. Which I like. Speaking of the tape boss, you have to climb the tower. I don't like the tower, to be honest. I did not find that fun.
I can't remember hardly anything in that tower, to be honest.
I find the pyramids and the Shogun Studio
more
cinema or or the theater, I find it more fun than the tower.
The only thing I can remember about the tower was them toads taped to it. I think that's the only thing I can remember about it. I can't for the life of me remember what was actually inside of that tower. Oh wait, or was it something with the? Oh, I think it had something with the different elementals, because I think at that moment in the game you unlocked all the elementals. So it was a little task that you had to do that involved. Okay, now I remember it. Yeah, that's what. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see it now. But it was all right.
When you arrived at the tower was really long, so I expected it to be a pretty big area. But like, it was so short. you beat it in like 10 minutes. So in comparison with the pyramid took like how many minutes? Like 45 minutes or something. But I do think that the Purple Streamer has one of the best themes in the game. Like the overworld, the battle theme, those are awesome. But I don't prefer them over the yellow streamer themes and the blue themes, and even the red streamer themes. But the battle music is one of the best in the game.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it in terms of our thoughts on the purple thing. You got anything else to say, or we're gonna jump straight up into the sky for this green streamer though?
I do really like the underwater area. It's so beautiful. When you find a treasure, found a treasure, you have to go dive down. It's so beautiful.
Oh yeah, I did like that.
So beautiful. Yeah, and there's corals. Some of them had bloopers. So yeah, I like that. I like Captain Tilo too. He has a nice personality. He was just the type of guy that just doesn't care. He's just there. And if you ask him to use something, he says like, sure thing, go for it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of our thoughts on the purple one. Hello everybody, Future Megazard here, and I have to inform all y'all that yes, this discussion was so long that I had to split it into two major parts. So you got to see me and Silver go ahead and break down the game from all the zones from the red to green, as well as what we thought about each of the characters and what they kind of provided to the story. But within our second part, you'll get to see our final thoughts of what we thought of the last zone with the green streamer, as well as the final epic fight with King Ollie and us trying to, go and save Princess Peach, and as well as the whole Mushroom Kingdom. And you'll be able to hear our thoughts of what we actually thought about the battle system. Did it work for us? Was it to our fancy, or was it to our liking? And then finally, just the overall thoughts of Paper Mario, the Origami King as a whole, and where do we stand on it in terms of other Paper Mario games, and just our overall lasting impression from the game though. So if you really like this discussion for Paper Mario and the Origami King, then go ahead and hit that like button, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and that bell so you can stay notified on when that part 2 of my discussion along with Silver for Paper Mario the Origami King actually manages to drop though. So remember y'all, until whatever video I make next, see y'all.